Let's go to the CBC's Paul Hunter in Washington. Paul, a lot out of Haugen's testimony today. What stood out for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, notwithstanding we largely knew ahead of time what was coming on this, I'd say it was remarkable to see the broad support and consensus on what Haugen was testifying about from both Democrats and Republicans. Like, you know, when do you ever see agreement on anything on Capitol Hill these days? On this, there was. Senators at times seemed barely able to contain their fury at Facebook over Haugen's allegations. I would also point to the forcefulness of her comments, underlining what you and I talked about yesterday, David, and in that clip that you just played. Her view, supported by all that documentation, that Facebook and Instagram, which Facebook owns, knowingly risks harm to children, adults, democracy, people around the world, all in the name of making more profit by utilizing algorithms hidden from scrutiny that divide and scar. But on top of forcefulness, she didn't talk in jargon. She didn't use tech terminology that no one outside the tech world understands. It was plain English, which seemed to help make her underlying point that she's doing this because she believes someone needs to speak out and put a light on Facebook's actions that everyone understands. She had the air of authenticity because of the way she spoke, the regular language that she used. And here she was on a giant consequential stage describing in damning detail the harmful actions of one of the most powerful organizations on the planet. Today, David, was not a good day for Facebook or for Facebook's brand or for Facebook's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg.
Let's talk about Facebook, because boy, oh boy, that was one heck of a response to Haugen's testimony.
Yeah, Facebook was quick with it, even while she was in mid-testimony, seeming to go after her as much, if not more, than her actual allegations, calling Haugen a, quote, former product manager who worked for the company for less than 2 years and who was not a part of certain key senior meetings. Worth noting, David, that senators pledged to protect Haugen if there are reprisals against her from Facebook, which really brings us to the key question, if you ask me, which is what, if anything, will senators now do vis-a-vis her story? It certainly seemed that her push for government oversight and regulation had traction with the senators. She basically said they've now got to go well above and beyond where the laws have been to date on this. In its response, Facebook said it supports broad internet regulation, that it's time for Congress to act. But Haugen's point is Facebook has the ability to do this now on its own platform, but it chooses not to, risking harm to countless, again, in the name of profits. And it's her view that Facebook, by the way, one of the biggest spenders on Capitol Hill in terms of lobbying, it's her view that Facebook won't do anything on this unless it's forced to, because the money's flat out too good the way it is right now.
There you have it. Paul Hunter in Washington. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.